Everybody always asks why our people are the way we are today. The truth is, the people of today are the people of the past. That's why things feel so familiar. See, the majority of us have forgotten who we are. And when you forget your past, you walk blind. That's what classism really is. Those who remember versus those who forgot. And make no mistake, scholars around the world know. Historians, anthropologists, and even legal researchers have pointed to the same truths. From Carter G. Woodson writing about hidden histories, to Dr. Ivan von Sertima and They Came Before Columbus, to scholars documenting the mound builders of Cahokia and the treaties that still stand in U.S. courts today. They know the people here in America, the so-called African Americans, are the indigenous people of this land. They know the school stories are twisted. They know capitalism needed to lie because this whole game was never really about race. It was about wealth. It was about land. Land is inheritance. Land is currency. And once you understand that, you understand why the indigenous people of America were always the target. Now here's the part they don't teach. Before colonization, before 1492, before all of that, our biggest downfall was us. Family wars, internal wars, ego, disagreements over land, traditions, and the way we traded. It wasn't that we didn't have enough. We had more than enough. But we were reflections of each other, and only we had the power to destroy ourselves. That's the same energy we carry today. Why do you think outsiders can play us so easy? Because they already know. We are strong, dominant, and dangerous. And when you're dangerous, all it takes is division to weaken you. Now, back then, each family had their land. Millions of acres divided among nations. Every family knew their borders. Every family knew their territory. And just like today's counties, each nation had its own overseers, its own protectors, its own way of policing. So when people say the colonizers brought law and order, that's a lie. We already had systems. We already had leadership. But the wars between families opened the door. Once you're distracted by fighting your brother, the enemy can walk right in. That's how infiltration happened. And what made us unbalanced was deeper than war. See, for thousands of years, women, the empresses, held divine leadership. They were the balance. They had the insight, the spiritual vision. They passed that wisdom down to the chiefs and the priests. But as time went on, that power shifted more to the men. Not by evil, but by nature, by age, by time. And with the men came ego. And ego without balance will always bring destruction. That's why we fell. Not because we were weak, but because we were too strong, too proud, too reflective of each other. Fast forward to today. Same pattern. We hurt ourselves before anybody else can hurt us. The system knows this. That's why the police don't protect people. They protect assets. That's why capitalism feeds off ignorance. That's why people without roots, without nation, without self-identity become the easiest to target. But here's the truth. Not all nations fell. Not all families submitted. Some kept the traditions. Some kept the sovereignty. And those lineages are still here. The real danger isn't what outsiders did. It's what we forgot. And until we remember, history will keep repeating.